In July 1988, firefighters responded to a call in Canoga Park, Los Angeles. A house was on fire. Smoke pushed through the roof. Windows cracked from the heat. It looked at first like a tragic but ordinary residential blaze. When crews entered the home, after extinguishing the flames, they found 3 bodies inside: a man in the garage, a woman in a bedroom, and a 10-year-old girl. The fire had not been an accident. The child had been shot. Her name was Judith Barsi. At the time of her death, her voice was about to be heard by millions.
Charlie, will I ever see you again?
Judith Barsi was born on June 6, 1978 in Los Angeles, California, to Hungarian immigrant parents, Josef and Maria Barsi. Her parents had fled Hungary after the 1956 uprising and eventually settled in California to build a new life. Judith began acting at 5 years old. She appeared in more than 70 commercials and had roles on several television series. Casting directors described her as focused and emotionally intuitive. But it was voice acting that made her unforgettable. In 1988, she recorded the role of Anne-Marie in All Dogs Go to Heaven. Anne-Marie is an orphan, small, vulnerable, and desperate not to be abandoned. She spends the film searching for protection and promising unwavering loyalty to those she loves. Judith's performance was strikingly sincere. When Anne-Marie cried, it felt real. When she begged not to be left alone, there was no exaggeration in her voice, only honesty. Outside the recording booth, however, there were warning signs in Judith's personal life that would later become impossible to ignore. By the late 1980s, Judith's income supported much of her family's household in Canoga Park. Her father, Josef Barsi, had once pursued acting himself but was unemployed during this period. According to later witness statements and police reports, he struggled with alcohol abuse and had become increasingly volatile. Friends and neighbors later reported that he made repeated threats to kill his wife and daughter, and then himself. These threats were described as direct and specific. Judith told people she was afraid of her father. She was evaluated by a child psychologist who reportedly concluded she was experiencing severe emotional distress related to fear at home. Stress-related physical symptoms, including hair loss, were documented. Maria Barsi sought help. She went to police after one of the alleged death threats. Child Protective Services were notified. However, no formal charges were filed, and Judith remained in the home. In late July 1988, the Barsi home appeared quiet from the outside. There were no emergency calls that morning, no reports of disturbances from neighbors. Inside the house, Judith and her mother shared a bedroom. According to the Los Angeles County Coroner's report, sometime during the morning of July 25, 1988, Judith was shot while she slept. She was 10 years old. Her mother, Maria Barsi, was also shot inside the home. Investigators later confirmed there were no signs of forced entry. The incident occurred within the household. After the shootings, the home became completely silent. For approximately 2 days, the bodies remained inside the house. Outside, daily life continued in the neighborhood. Cars drove past the property. People walked along the street. Nothing visible from the outside suggested what had happened inside the home. Then, on July 27th, gasoline was poured inside the house and over the bodies. Shortly afterward, the house was set on fire. Flames quickly spread through the structure, and smoke rising from the home prompted neighbors to call emergency services. Firefighters arrived expecting to deal with a structure fire. After extinguishing the blaze, they entered the house to search for anyone inside. They located the bodies of Judith and her mother in the bedroom. In the garage, they found the body of Judith's father. Investigators determined he had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities concluded that the fire had been intentionally set after the shootings. The case was officially ruled a double homicide followed by suicide. At the time of her death, Judith had already recorded most of her dialogue for All Dogs Go to Heaven. The film was completed using previously recorded material and released in 1989. Audiences watching the movie heard Anne-Marie's voice. Emotional, hopeful, full of belief that loyalty and kindness could overcome hardship. Many viewers had no idea the child who recorded those lines had died the year before. The official record is clear. Repeated threats, documented fear, attempts to seek help, and a final act of lethal violence inside the home. Judith was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in the Hollywood Hills. There are no adult photographs of her, no later interviews, no reflection on childhood fame, only recordings. Anne-Marie finds safety at the end of her story. Judith never had that ending. And every time that line plays, I'll be with you, even if you can't see me. It carries the weight of what happened inside a quiet house in July 1988. Sadly, Judith Barsi was only a voice the world would only truly listen to after it was gone. Before I go, I just want to say something quickly. I know I've been away for a while, and honestly, I'm sorry for that, but I didn't want to come back unless I could make something I was genuinely proud of, something that felt meaningful, something that stayed with you after the video ended. This one really mattered to me, and if you made it all the way to the end, thank you. Seriously, the more you support the channel, whether that's subscribing, liking, or just watching, the more videos like this I can make, and I've got a lot more stories I want to tell. So, if you're still here, you're already part of that. Thank you for sticking with me. Love you all. I'll see you in the next one.